Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Enough channel. In this video we're going to review round 3 of the 2025-26 SuperCoach EPL season. So a pretty good week for us in the end. We scored a 110, which was top 10% for the week, and did see us move up 1800 spots, so inside the top 5% overall, just outside the top 2k at the current moment. So if we have a look at the team, we had one win out of two, so we'll take a bit of confetti. But we had James Trafford in goal, who did just return 5 points. Petrovic with the clean sheet with 9 points. We left on the bench, unfortunately. I guess unfortunately as well, we played both the Arsenal assets, Timber and Calafiori, scoring a 5 and a 4 each. But as you can see, some nice cash generation, about $2 million each. So they should be good to go again this week with a negative 20 and what's Calafiori, negative 5 respectively. And I did see they were quite aggressive in a couple of the highlights against Liverpool, so I don't think they're the worst shout at the moment. Truffert we played, and with the clean sheet and some bonus points in there, 15 points for him was amazing. Juve, unfortunately, on the bench for a 20-point return, and even Rodon with 11 points would have been better for our team, but that's the way it worked out. In the midfield, Reinders and Sarr were both disappointing, but the two Everton guys, Grealish and Dewsbury Hall, both returning 21 points each. So I'll just quickly do the plus. So negative 21 and negative 7 break-evens. You'll love to see that from those guys. Up front, we did guess correctly with the captain. So Erling Haaland getting the goal, 14 points. Salah and Gyökeres somewhat cancelling each other out with their good defences in that game, 1 point apiece. So, you know, if we benched them and played these two, it could have been a whole lot better. Like that would have happened. But in the leagues, did get a good win in the first league over the Gooners, Riley's team. With hang on, I've gone league. I want to go game day. There we go. This will tell us. So Riley had Van Dijk with a 13, but did miss out on a couple of picks. So no Lewis Skelly, no Cole Palmer, and not too much doing on the bench either. So made it easy for me, I suppose. But looks like top score was Shoaib with a 145 for the Guns N' Roses. So VC'd Fernandez, and looks like he took the loop. So great work there. Paqueta and Diouf both scored well and were in the team. Had Dewsbury Hall, Truffert, Haaland as well. So lots of double-digit scores this week. Good stuff. Show up. In the second league, though, I did run into a pretty hot team, Empire of the Cop, Travis's team. So he had Cucurella score a 13. He had Grealish, Dewsbury Hall, Truffert, Captain Haaland as well. So yeah, it was mostly Cucurella that was the difference maker there. Caicedo and Vicario, 7-point returns, were quite solid as well. Had Richarlison for 5 points, so he's a nice little cash maker as well. So I've definitely let one slip there. But looking through the league, top score was Ken Oath, Josh's team, with a 143 thanks to a VC on Fernandez. Had Juve, Rodon, Haaland all in the team. Cucurella, Dewsbury Hall. So great returns there. And yeah, it copped Vicario's auto emergency as well using the loophole. So definitely something we need to explore. I think once Petrovic has done his cash making best. Should have a look at the overall as well, because I know there's some players that aren't in the leagues. So Gurner score 4. Troy's team has moved up number one overall, 381. Might try and have a look where that puts him overall in a minute. Um, but we've got a 151 for 40-year-old Virgil. I think that's going to be the top score. So let's have a look at Sam's team and how he went. So he had Sanchez in goal, Fernandez with the VC. No, he went Haaland as captain. So didn't take the loop on Fernandez. Had Diouf, had Grealish and Dewsbury Hall and Troffair, and left Bogle and Rodon on the bench. So probably a few points left on the table there playing Euro. So well done anyway, Sam. Great score this week. So just have a quick look at the league and particularly the overall. So Troy's score gets him into 22nd overall. So that's a nice spot to be. We're a fair way down the list as per usual. Might have gone too far there actually. 13th, so doing okay. Considering we haven't really done this format too much before. But thoughts for this week. I guess the question is, can we afford to hold Cole Palmer for another bit of time while he may still be injured? Particularly we could get on Paqueta, although he has already made 2.3 mil, but most of that would have been from the score this week. So, the 22 gives him two more sort of cash rises. But then I guess the question is, what do we do with the other money? I guess Rodri is back on the table. I think he's played 2 games now. Yeah, so he missed the first week, but 5 and 5. So it could be a bit of a slow burn, but pretty much nailed on at Man City. So it's not the worst shout. We do have those cheapies going well though. What else have we got going on? So obviously Mo Salah's got a massive break even, but we're not going to give up on Mo. Um, we could go Palmer all the way down to a Rodri, bank a heap of cash. What do we do with it though? Because all our defenders are making money, the goalkeepers are making money. Maybe we could upgrade a Saar. He hasn't really taken off the way we would hope. Although he had a good week in week 1, didn't he, against Burnley? So I'm not 100% sure. Oh, that's the wrong way. I just want to go back to my team. So we could get Paqueta. Fernandez did get the penalties with Palmer out. Could look at there. So Cullen, those that brought him in this week, unlucky, got a -1. Jared Bowen, so did score a goal, has gone on his way. We could just go to Fernandez, who's probably also a keeper in the position. So there is some options around what we do. So Szoboszlai got that cracking free kick goal, but is playing as a right back, so I don't know if that's ideal given that he more often than I was going to say more often than not won't be pushing forward, but Liverpool do push their wing backs quite forward. So he is an option as well. Yeah. So maybe we look at Fernandez, and then with the price, I think we can go Saar to Paqueta. Let's have a look. Yeah, so one of the best break evens in the game. Should be able to ride that 22 for a couple of weeks, which will be handy. and then hopefully we can flip him to Bowen, or maybe we get Palmer back, something like that. So I think the main play at the moment is just that cash gen, trying to build the bank quickly to get more of these keepers in our team. So I'll lock those two trades in. I don't know if I need to do another boost at this point in time, but in terms of the team this week, so Arsenal against Forest is a more favourable fixture, so we'll keep Gyökeres. Liverpool against Burnley, so we do like Salah as a captaincy option. So we've got Paqueta up against Tottenham, so tougher fixture. Everton against Villa, so they're at home at the new stadium. So yeah, we have to get Fernandes in for one of these guys at least. And then Arsenal again against Forest, not that strong attacking, so we'll play these two. Bournemouth Brighton should be interesting. West Ham against Tottenham. Can we play Juve with his attacking upside? Rodon against Fulham. We're not too concerned. So Fernandes is in for. It's a bit of a toss of the coin, really, with the way the team's structured. Do we go back to the risky 2-5-3 formation and just back the attackers in? Yeah, I can't foresee any of these guys getting having a miss. So I just looked at Fernandes. He's gone down in price. A break even of 14. Do we change Fernandes? We might be able to get him cheaper in a fixture where he's more likely to score. So I guess then who's next on the break-even list? So we've got the top three. After that, there's nothing too wild. Lafee was super cheap, but did get a penalty this week. 19-point return. Um, yeah, so just looking at the list, it's not even like Rodri's that going to make that much cash immediately with the 2 break even. So Matt O'Reilly didn't even play. So if I sub Fernandes in, so looks like the next sort of cheapies on the list are Senesi, the Bournemouth defender, but he's quite expensive, so we can't sort of flip. Jaden Anthony, again, we're not going to trade any of the forwards out. Pedro, well done if you started him over probably a Gyökeres or even a Salah, averaging 8.7. Got Trafford and Juve. So we're doing pretty well for cash gen. So do we even... I guess we do want to play a midfielder this week. So I'll just cancel that. What are the fixtures? Palace against Sunderland. So I guess the interesting one is Kamada. So he is $3.9 million midfield replacing Eze. And he did get a goal, or an assist, sorry, in the first week that he's played. So it might be a bit early, but we could get on Kamada this week against Sunderland at home. Well, then I guess the other option is what's Ismail Assar? Is he a keeper in the midfield? He might even be a forward. I'm not too sure. He must be in the forward line. So I think this is a good shout. We'll go Kamada this week. Obviously got a lot of cash there, but we can look to flip to Fernandes next week. What's their week 5 fixture like? Man, against Chelsea, it's not the easiest one. So maybe Brentford in game week 6 is when, Fernandez becomes a more viable option. So I'm happy with that. So I think that's going to be the team going into week 5. No, sorry, what are we up to? Week 4. I've skipped ahead here, haven't I? Week 4 of the 2025-26 EPL season for SuperCoach. So as always, if you've got any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to add them below this video. Give us a like if you enjoy the EPL content. Subscribe for all the fantasy sports content on the channel. And other than that, we'll catch you in the next one.